Welcome to Project Pro Code Recipes. In this video, we are going to learn on how to plot a learning curve in Python. This is the code snippet over here. I have copied this code and I have pasted that in my Jupyter notebook. I'll explain to you the code over here as well as run this for you. So first, let me clear my kernel. Now let's get started. So what is learning curve and how can you use that? So as you now consider you are training your model. So as you increase the size of the data sets, the model the accuracy of the model increases because it can capture more and more variance from your data set. But at after point, like for example, initially your data set was 10 lakhs. Initially your data set was 10,000. The accuracy came out to be 70%. Then you increase your data set to 15,000, your accuracy came out to be 80%. Then to 20,000, your accuracy came out to be 90,000. And then gradually with the increase in with the increase in number of data points, your accuracy would start decreasing. That is, your model would slowly start learning less. So basically it will be a log kind of graph. So and after a point, like for example, consider a point of 10 lakh data points. After that, you can consider your model will finally reach saturation point. That is, your model won't learn anymore. If on 10 lakh your accuracy is around 97%, then on 20 lakh your accuracy is going out to be 97.5%. So basically, increasing the time complexity by increasing the number of data points won't help your model to learn better. So in those cases, you can use this learning curve in order to make sure that what should be my optimal number of data points, so that I could also reduce my time complexity for my model and get the job done in the least amount of time. So over here we are going to understand it by using the learning curve. So now let's get started with the codes. I'll explain to you the code, and if any new terms comes in between, I explain to you the term. So import warnings. Now warning dot filter warnings ignore. Now I imported NumPy, Matplotlib for plotting my graph. From sklearn ensemble, I am importing my random forest classifier. From sklearn datasets, as sklearn dataset as sklearn already contains preloaded datasets, so I'm using my digit dataset. Now from sklearn.model selection, I'm importing learning curve, which I would use for plotting the graph. Okay. Now matplotlib percentage matplotlib inline digits is equal to load digits, so xy. So it gives me two outputs, that is a feature matrix and a target vector. So I have saved that feature matrix in the name x and a target vector in the name y. Now I'm initializing my learning curve. So I need to write my learning curve, then my model. So I'm using random forest classifier. I'm using x, y, cv is equal to 10. So scoring, now cross validation is equal to 10. So I am using so what is cross validation? Let me explain to you. Now train test split, that is also a kind of cross validation. So what train test split does, it splits your data set into a percentage according to what you give. For example, you give your testing set size to be 25%. It keeps your training it keeps your training set to be 75 and testing to be 25. And this is how it validates your model. You train on 75%, then you test how your model is actually performing on the data it hasn't seen before on the 25%. So I have uploaded a complete video regarding a complete detailed video regarding validation curves, in which I've explained this in great details. You can go and check that out. Now I'm explaining cross validation now. So cross validation, for example, over here cross validation is equal to 10. Now if I pass cross validation is equal to 10, this means it will split my data set into 10 parts. Test on the train on the 9, then test on the leftover one, and similarly it is going to iterate over all the 9 possible combinations and going to use the leftover one for testing. Now accuracy. So accuracy is the total number of correct predictions upon the total predictions. N jobs is equal to -1. So my n jobs is equal to -1 means, yes, my n jobs is equal to -1 means the total number of parallel processing that my computer could do. For example, consider my computer is an octa-core, so it can do 8 parallel processing at the same time. So if I put my n jobs equal to -1, it will do 8 parallel processing. It just speeds up the process as compared to if I put my n jobs equal to 5, it is going to 5. It is going to do 5 parallel processing. The accuracy is going to be same. The only difference is the parallel processing. So in order to reduce the time complexity, you can use this n jobs. Now train size, I am varying my train size with a variation of 50. Now uh, train mean, so what are the outputs it has given me? Now train size, train score, test score. These are the three outputs it has given me. So train size is one, train score is one, and test score is one. So okay, now let me print. How train scores looks like. So I'm going to print the first 10 rows and the first 10 columns. So it will print me the train score and then train mean. So as it is a cross validation, so it is going to give me 10 different scores. So I need to calculate a single score. So what I am doing, I'm calculating the mean. So it will calculate me the mean for the train score. X is equal to 1. This means this means the rows. So train means, now train standard. So train standard deviation. So I'm also calculating the standard deviation of my train scores. Now after that, I'm calculating the test means and test scores for my validation curve. Now sorry, for my learning curve of cross validation score. Now train size. So this is finally I'm drawing my graph. So plot dot subplots 1. This means plot these two plots in the same plot. Figure size should be 10 by 10. Plot plt dot plot train size. Okay. Now train mean and color should be black. Label is training score. Similarly, plt dot plot train size, test mean, color is equal to red, label is equal to cross validation. After that, plt dot fill between train underscore size. So what I am doing, I am basically trying to create a boundary over the train size and test size. So over the train size. So how I'm creating my boundary over the train size, I'm calculating the mean, the minimum value minus the standard deviation. The standard deviation is basically the deviation of each data point from the mean, and the maximum value would be train underscore mean plus train standard deviation. Color is this. Now yes, now again I'm doing the same for the test mean minus test mean plus test standard deviation, so on. Now I'm creating the final plot. So x title is learning curve, the x label is training set size, and plt dot y label is my accuracy score. So this is the final output. So you can see these are the 10 scores. So as the size varies, the accuracy also varies. So you could see initially when the size was very small, the accuracy was also 0.93 for some of the values. But as I increase the size, the accuracy increased to almost 1. So and after a point, you can see it will reach a saturation level. That is, your accuracy is not going to increase anymore. So these are my training scores. My training scores are around 1. And this is how my trainings, according to my test training set size, how is my how is my cross validation score varying. So you can see initially it increased drastically between 0 to around 600 of data size. Then the growth started decreasing, and then finally after a certain point, for example consider 1600, the growth became almost constant. That is, the model not able to learn any more information from a data set. Now this was all about codes in this video. For more industry relevant project, you can visit our website, and for more code recipes like this, you can visit our website as well as our YouTube channel. You can also use this click here function to submit your request for recipe in case you don't find it on our website. If you like the video, please hit the like and subscribe button, and the URL for the code of this video is available in the description below. Thank you.